Hey guys, and welcome back to the basement. I'm gonna go through. I've been working on my Battlefleet Gothic, so I wanted to show you what I've been doing so far. So basically, what I've done is got the Space Marine. I don't know whether I'm gonna go Ultramarines or Imperial Fist. I'm not sure. I might go. I'm not Imperial Crimson Fist. So I'm kind of sliding towards the Crimson Fist because those were one of my favorite third edition Space Marine chapters. So we got Space Marines here. We've got the Battle Barge right there. That's the Space Marine Battle Barge. And then we have 3 strike cruisers, Space Marine strike cruisers. In order to take the Battle Barge, you have to have 3 cruisers. And then we have 3 Space Marine frigates, which are pretty cool. They're right there. So here you have the strike cruisers, the battle barge, and the frigates. Over here we have an old Emperor class battleship. She's a carrier. Here we have a Gothic cruiser right there. And she has lances and torpedoes. And we have a light cruiser, the Dauntless. We have a Dictator cruiser, which is another carrier. So in order to take this battleship, you have to have the same thing. You have to have 3 cruisers. Now she counts as a cruiser, so I can take the Gothic, the Dauntless, and the Dictator and take the battleship. We have 2 Sword class frigates, and we have we got 4 Cobra destroyers. Pretty neat. Sticking with the Imperials, we've got my white fleet over here. This is the Gothic fleet in the colors of the Gothic sector. And then we have my white fleet right here, which I kind of stole from Teddy Roosevelt's the Great White Fleet during the Spanish-American War. So Admiral Dewey. So damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead. So that's this fleet right here, and this we have another Gothic class cruiser right there, and we have another Dictator right there. We have a Mars cruiser, which I modified to be just a wee bit bigger than the Dictator. And the Mars is a carrier as well, but it also has a Nova cannon, which are very deadly. They're pretty cool. Definitely long distance artillery piece. And we have 2 frigates right there, so 2 swords, and then we have 4 Cobras as well. Now I've ordered 4 more cruisers, so I bought a set of 4, and I'm going to have 2 more cruisers here. We're going to have a Dominator and a Tyrant. And we're going to have 2 cruisers over here, which is Dominator and a Tyrant as well. And that will flesh out my Imperials. So that will be the Imperial fleet, starting with the Great White Fleet, the Gothic Sector fleet, and then our Space Marine fleet. Then we slide on over to the Eldar. And the Eldar fleet, I had to repair. It was pretty banged up. But I'm not sure what colors I'm going to paint these, but right now they're painted. They're primed white, and then they were put an overcoat of bone on the Eldar fleet. So now the Eldar fleet, we have a battleship. We have the Void Stalker, which you don't have to take cruisers, but you got to take so many points in other ships before you can take the battleship. And that's the Void Stalker, which is pretty cool. Then this ship right here, that one right there, she is the Eclipse Elder class cruiser. So that's pretty cool. She's a good ship. These guys right here, those are Nightshade class destroyers. So these right there, the Nightshades. These 2 right here, these Hellbore frigates. They're pretty cool. And these here, I believe, Aconite, I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Aconite class frigates. And then we have those right there, which they're frigates, but I forget what they are, and those as well. So I need to look up them and figure out what they are. I haven't had a chance to. I just repaired them today, so I didn't expect them to be on the board today. So that's what we got for our Elder Fleet. Looks pretty neat. And then we're going to move on to our Chaos Fleet. And the Chaos Fleet, we have a battleship. So this is the Red Fleet, and this is the Spoiler class battleship. She's a carrier. So in order to take her, you have to have 2 cruisers, and in order to take the Grand Cruiser, you have to have 2 cruisers. In order to take this battleship, you have to have 3 cruisers. So with the 2 cruisers here, we have a Styx class heavy cruiser. That's an aircraft carrier. And we have on this side, we have a Slaughter class cruiser right there. And then we have our Grand class cruiser, which is a Desolator. She's right there. It's pretty cool. And then we have some escorts, and those are raiders. So they're a mix of idolaters and infidels. Then we move on to the Planet Killer, Abaddon's Planet Killer, which is a pretty cool ship. And then I've got this kind of this is a demon ship, and I went with the blue paint job on this. It's going to be blue and gold, so I'll figure out what chapter they might be, I don't know. And then we move into the Black Legion fleet, which we have another Despoil class battleship right there. And in the same way, you need 2 cruisers to take the Grand Cruiser, and then you need 3 cruisers to take the battleship. So that's what we're looking at here. And here we have a heavy cruiser, which is going to be a Hades heavy cruiser. And you can tell the difference because of the dorsal turrets right there, the dorsal guns. And then we have right here, we have a Slaughter class cruiser. And then we have the repulsive. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a Murder class. This right here is the Slaughter, and I keep getting them confused, and I don't know why, but I do. So there's the Slaughter, and there's the Murder. So we have a Murder class over here, and then right here we have a Repulsive class Grand Cruiser, which is pretty cool. And it was a toss-up between making that an Imperial ship or Chaos, but I ended up going with Chaos, and what the hell. So then my lone Orc ship that's built but doesn't have a stand. I do have stands on the way. This is a White Dwarf BFG Imperial ship that came with the magazine. So this Orc ship, I do have some Orc ships in there that's still in the package. So with this game, you got this game came with 4 of the Imperial class cruisers and 4 Chaos cruisers, and you got counters, you got dice, you got the rule book, and you got your. So let's see. In this box, all you need to fight exciting space battles. You got Battlefleet Gothic rule book. You got 4 Imperial cruisers. You got 4 Chaos cruisers. You got 12 assorted dice. Fleet registry roster. 2 plastic rulers, the little blue whippy sticks here in centimeters. Over 100 game counters, 2 reference sheets, and a getting started guide with an 8-page comic in it. And that being said, what we have left in here is, here's our counters here. Get all counters right there, torpedoes and all that neat stuff in there. We've got some, these are Chaos, and I believe there's 2 cruisers here. There's 2 cruisers there, and there's 2 cruisers here. So, we got some unbuilt, and here's your play sheet. The dice, you have brace for impact, lock on, full speed ahead, and some other crap. There you go, full ahead, burn retros, come to new heading, lock on, reload ordnance, and brace for impact. They're made simple, right? So here we got this. Now this is gonna be, here's your getting started rule book. Shows you how to build each different class of ship, which is pretty cool. And you actually have a little comic book in this as well, which is pretty neat. So that's pretty cool. Shows you how to play the game right off the bat, so that's pretty neat. So what's interesting here is you need these little compasses as well. These compasses tell you the heading of the ship, and you put it over the ship like that, and it gives you the heading. A beam, head on, falling back to the rear of the bow. So it's what they call closing. Yeah, closing or moving away, and then a beam. And you just put it right over the stem. And that's how you gauge what target area you have. Now, what's really cool is what I'm going to show you next. I don't have enough time because I hate doing this in parts, like when it just shuts off. So I do got 4 more ships coming. I didn't want to take these off the sprue. And here's the rule book for it. Here's the rule book. And here's a supplemental rule book. This is called Battlefleet Armada. This gives you, it has the older ships like that in there. So it gives you a reference point of the Necrons, so Tyranid vessels. So this is the original rule book right here, and then you get the supplemental rule book right here. And when I get more time, I'll go through them for you. So that's what we got there. And they came out with a lot of stuff for Battlefleet Gothic when it first came out, which was really cool. And this was an awesome game. They came out with a magazine. I knew I had more, but I don't know where they are. They might be in with my comic books. But I did find these 3. And this is kind of gives you little updates, questions and answers. Gives you scenarios, much like the old mags that I have over here. Like here, the Citadel Journal, that kind of thing, and Firepower. So that's what these were. So these actually supplemented the game. So these are pretty cool. I got what, 9, 16, and 19. I have no idea where the other ones went. Then you came out with, here's another Battlefleet Gothic Invasion, which was another supplement for campaign, for fighting Chaos and Necrons and all that neat stuff. So we'll take a look at that. We can add up real quick. So I do have another one around here that's kind of beat up. It shows you how to make planets. Oh, here we go. Where are we? Shows you how to make planets. Port Maw, which was one of the major Imperial bases for the fleet. And it gives you boarding actions using the old 3rd edition unit components. Like in the 3rd edition, you'd have to take one as core. You had to take 1 headquarters and 2 troops. So, and they would have in 3rd edition, they would have the different scenarios would recommend taking your core requirements, and then you could branch off into something else, which was, so here this core requirement is taking 1 elite with 1 troop, that's the attacker, and then the defender would have to take 2 troops. Then later, if you wanted to build on that mission, you could take these auxiliaries if you wanted, whatever you wanted, but you needed, these were mandatory, and that's the way that worked. And so this is a pretty neat book, and this was a supplement. It gives you a boarding party, it gives you scenarios to fight, the big guns. It got your Imperial Navy here, which is cool. See, here's a Grand Cruiser that you could use. And you got your Space Marines, boarding actions, your Chaos, your Blackstone Fortress, more Chaos, which is pretty neat. Boarding actions with Chaos Terminators. And you got your Orc Pirates, which are pretty cool. And then you got your Eldar Corsairs. Here's your Hellbore frigate class frigates. And then we have the Aconite frigates, Hemlock Destroyers, Nightshade Destroyers. So that's what those guys are. Those guys over there. Hemlock Destroyers right there. Okay. I get you now. And then we got some Necrons here. And we got some Hive Tyrant fleets. And then we have Dark Eldar Raiders. And as we come to a close for this one, I will start part 2. So I'll see you out there. Be good to each other. And we'll get into this. Ciao.